In this video, we're going to be talking about the head and shoulder signature trade. A regular head and shoulder pattern is the formation that appears as a baseline with three peaks. The outside two are close in height, and the middle is the highest, found at the peak formation high. This is one of the strongest reversal patterns. So the head and shoulders pattern can be found on level 3 of the Diller cycle. So the left shoulder price is going to rise, and then it's going to correct, forming a peak. The head is going to rise, breaking the high of the left shoulder, then it's going to correct. The right shoulder is going to go up for another retest, but it's not going to break the head, which is the peak, forming the right shoulder. Then it's going to drop. So now you have your left shoulder, your head, which is higher than your left shoulder, and your right shoulder, which is lower than your head. All right, giving you your head and shoulders pattern. So this is what it looks like. Price is rising. It gives you your left shoulder goes up, pulled back, creating a peak. Then it rises again. It rises again, breaking the high of this peak, creating another peak, pulling right back, creating a potential head. Then it rises again, does not take out the peak, in line with the left shoulder, then it drops. So you have your left shoulder, your head, your right shoulder, then it drops and start another trend, the downside. An inverse head and shoulder pattern is a formation that appears as a baseline with three peaks. Same thing, the two outside are close in height. In the middle is the lowest, found at the peak formation low. Just like the head and shoulder pattern, this is one of the strongest reversal patterns. So this is the opposite of the head and shoulders pattern. A regular head and shoulder pattern can be found at the top of an uptrend. An inverse head and shoulder pattern will be found at the bottom of a downtrend. All right, so your left shoulder will go down, create a peak, and then it will pull back. Right, your head, it would drop, breaking the low of the head of the left shoulder, and then pull back, creating a head. The right shoulder would drop down again, retesting the head, but it won't break it, and then pulling back, starting the trend to the upside, creating the inverse head and shoulders pattern. So you have your head and shoulders sitting at the top of an uptrend, and you have your inverse head and shoulders sitting at the bottom of a downtrend. This is what it looks like. So you have a downtrend, price comes down, sets a peak, pulls back, then it comes down, breaks the low of this peak right here, pulls back. You have your first shoulder, your left shoulder, you have your head, it pulls back again, does not break the peak of the head, and then takes off, creating your second shoulder, which is your right shoulder. So you have your left shoulder, head, right shoulder, inverse head and shoulders. So these are a few examples. Inverse head and shoulders. Price has been dropping. So this is your hour time frame. You see price has been dropping for some days now. You have a shark fin, blood in the water down on your TDI. You have divergence. Price is moving up on your TDI. Price is moving down on your charts. This day right here, price broke the previous day low. You have your left shoulder. Price broke the low of your left shoulder. Price came back down to retest, did not break your head, got out of there. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, inverse head and shoulders. Your market baseline and your TDI is also at oversold, level 3. EMAs are fanned out. Another example of the inverse head and shoulders. You have 3 days of drop. Price has been dropping. EMAs fanned apart a little bit. Your market baseline is at oversold. You have a shark fin, blood in the water, divergence. Price came down, gave you your right shoulder, broke the low of your right shoulder, giving you your head, pulled back, came back down to retest, did not break the low of this peak down here, giving you your right shoulder, and got it. You have your right shoulder, head, your left shoulder, head, right shoulder, out of here, affirmed by the TDI. Another example, price has been dropping. EMAs is fanned out, level 3. Market baseline is at oversold. You got a shark fin, blood in the water. You got some divergence. Price came down, giving you your left shoulder right here. Broke the low of your left shoulder, creating your peak. Rose, pulled back, did not break the low of your peak formation down here. Giving you your right shoulder, got out of here. All right, so remember the TDI confirmations and the TDI, how to read the TDI. When your market baseline reaches oversold over broke, you know that it's a good time for the market to reverse. All right, so seeing your market baseline down at oversold, EMA's fanned out, is giving you level 3. And now you're seeing the head and shoulder, the inverse head and shoulders form. Another example, you got 3 days of drop, price is dropping. Level 3, the EMAs is fanned apart. You look down at the TDI, the market baseline is sitting out oversold. You got a shark fin, blood in the water. You got divergence, price is moving up on the TDI down here. Price is going down on the charts up here. You got your left shoulder right here. Price came down, closed right here. You have your head. Price broke the low of your left shoulder, giving you your head. Rose, pulled back, did not break the low of your peak formation down here, giving you your right shoulder, and then took off. All right. Next example. Price been dropping. Price been dropping. EMAs is fanned out, level 3. Look down at the TDI. Your market baseline is near oversold. You have a little shark fin right here. Price give you your right shoulder right here. Come down, break the low. Price give you your left shoulder, right here. Comes down, break the low of your left shoulder. Giving you your head, pulls back. Come back down to retest the low. Did not break. Got out of there. Gave you another retest. Got out of there. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Got out of there. So now you got that was your inverse head and shoulders. Now you got your head and shoulders. All right, look at your TDI. You got your market baseline sitting out overbought. You got shark fin, blood in the water. You have divergence. Price is going down in your TDI. Price is moving up on your charts. Price rise. Give you your left shoulder right here. The next day, breaks the high of your left shoulder. Pulls back, giving you your head. Retest the high. Did not break it. Drops. Giving you your left shoulder, your head, your right shoulder. Level 3, drop. You on level 3, EMAs is fanned apart. You got your market baseline sitting out overbought. You got shark fin, blood in the water. You got divergence. Price is going down on the TDI. Price is moving up on the charts. Price goes up, give you your left shoulder. Next day breaks the high of your left shoulder, giving you your head. The next day comes up, retests the high, does not break, giving you your right shoulder, and then drops. Level 3, EMA's fanned apart, price been rising. Market baseline sitting out overbought. You got a shark fin, blood in the water. You got divergence, price is going down on your TDI. Price is going up on your charts. Price rise, give you your left shoulder right here. Close, next day comes up, breaks the high of your left shoulder, pulls back. Next day comes up, retest the high, does not break, give you your right shoulder, drops. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, head and shoulders, drop. Market baseline out overbought. Shark fin, blood in the water, divergence, drop. Price been rising 3 days. Potential level 3. You see your market baseline sitting out overbought. You got a shark fin, blood in the water. You got divergence on your TDI. Price comes up, give you your left shoulder. Next day breaks the high of your left shoulder, giving you your head. Next day comes up, retests the peak of your head, does not break it, and then drops. All right, last one. Price been rising for 3 days. Level 3 EMAs is fanned apart. Market baseline is sitting at overbought. Got a shark fin blood in the water right here and right here. Price comes up, give you your left shoulder. Come down next day, breaks the high of your left shoulder, giving you your head. Next day comes back up, retest. Yeah, the high does not break, drop. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, your head and shoulders. On your TDI, you have your market baseline sitting out overbought. You have a shark fin blood in the water. All confirmations telling you that price should be getting ready to drop. All right, so your head and shoulder pattern is one of your strongest patterns. It can be seen on level 3. On the uptrend, you're gonna get a regular head and shoulders. You want to see your market baseline sitting out overbought. You want to be able to see divergence on your TDI. You want to see your head breaking the high or the low. Well, on head and shoulders, you want to see your head breaking the high of the left shoulder. The right going up to retest without breaking it, then it's still valid. On the inverse head and shoulders, same thing. But opposite, you want to see your market baseline sitting out over sold. You want to see some shark fins. You want to see some divergence. You want to see your head breaking the low of your left shoulder. You want to see your right coming down to retest the head without breaking it and then rising. All right, so that is your head and shoulders pattern, and that's one of our signature trades.